Turning stone, making stone brick in furnaces, turning it into walls, and then recycling it again. Yeah, you could do that. Because you already have the quality steel, and you'll be making the quality copper plates, which you can just make into copper wire. That's relatively easy to do. And then they're more efficient, so they hold more of a lightning strike's energy. But if you're going to make stone brick, you would also want like a pair of electric furnaces, and you can put quality modules in the electric furnace, so that as you're smelting the stone, you might just get quality stone brick naturally. Yes, but you want to save a little bit of stone to go into Homium plate processing. You don't just want to burn all of it. Also, this quality iron plate, I don't need this quality iron plate. This uncommon quality iron plate. You can get eaten. Along with the rest of your friends. Or could you gamble it on something? No, just eat it. You're getting way too in the weeds on quality gambling right now. To the detriment of like every other part of the factory. The other thing that you could be scrapping for stuff is low density structures. They have a ton of copper plate in them, and you get them out of scrap. What's the state of your logistics grid like right now? You have 3,600 stone. Yeah, you need a stone outlet before you think about anything else. You have stone issues. They are piling up in a significant way. Also, if I just grab more red circuits, then I don't need to handcraft those. So these are going to be my 4 to go into this recycler so that I can turn quality copper plates on. And then I'm going to need probably 4 more for the electric furnaces. So it's going to be a little bit of handcrafting. You shouldn't be handcrafting these. You should be making them in an EM plant. Because you'd be doubling them. Ugh, you're right. You're right. Make your QM1s first. Do you want to try and gamble for quality modules? You could be. It could be. Heck yeah. Go nuts on it. I'm not even paying attention to, like, Fulgora Science Pact right now. I'm all in on fixing this horrendous accumulator setup. What if you can do quality lamps? Nah. Well, like, you can, but they don't matter. Waiting for night, so my power grid comes back. Because it sucks. You guys mining scrap well over here? You guys chilling? You good? Anybody checked in on you lately? You look like you're doing fine. You look like you're doing fine, getting that delicious extra productivity out of you. In the meantime, let's see if I can get some quality copper plate. Just like a couple rares to even get my first rare accumulator up would go a long ways. But this is only a 4% chance compared to the 8% that you get out of a fully saturated machine. Ooh. Uncommon quality module. Don't mind if I do. Let's see how fast the power drops when it goes back to daytime. I feel like it happens very, very quickly. But we'll watch and find out. It's not that bad. I don't think we need a ton more accumulators to actually get us to being able to operate through the night. But what we have now is definitely not enough. Have fun. Non-rare copper plates yet. Sad. There. You can at least have a couple while I wait for this thing to craft the rest of it. Just kidding. To 2,000 homing plates, so that's nice. You could be recycling... No, you should not recycle accumulators. As you start to place rare accumulators, you can. But you need these accumulators to hold your power. You know? Yeah, that's fair. Also a little confused about why you're not requesting steel chests. I can only select trash filter, but requests can't be used for its ambiguity. Maybe that doesn't work the way that I think it does. Maybe I can do this. Do you like this? Will you work if I do that for you? I mean, I actually don't want you to do it right now. Because I want to put your quality modules back in. So why is there copper wire over here? You're supposed to be rare batteries. Batteries rare. Get out of there. You got an uncommon copper plate. Rare copper plate. Yes. How many of those do I need? Only one! We're making a rare battery, but I need 5 of them to make an accumulator that's rare. Still, first rare battery completed. This is a great milestone. And you're almost done making QM1s. You have 4 more to make. And then we can do the QM2s, and then we could put QM2s back into all these machines. You guys are doing fine up here. You do still need a 4th recycler, but I don't think that's my biggest priority right now. I think my biggest priority is this miserable power grid. Up to 5 uncommon quality modules. We can't really do anything with those until we have uncommon circuits, but it'll be alright. We're close. We're closer than it looks. I know the factory looks like it's in very dire straits right now, and that we've been on Fulgora for like 4 hours, and this is all that we've done, but we're laying foundations to be able to do more things faster in the future. Which, speaking of, let's get these electric furnaces down and start processing all of the stone that we have that we do not need. You go here. You go here. Your circuit condition is anytime stone is greater than 1,000, you turn on. And then I'll give you these guys, because I'm not going to do anything with these anytime soon. Give you a couple inserters. And then you request stone. 50 at a time is fine. And go nuts. You're done. So we now switch you over to QM2s. We have 35, but we're not going to be able to make all of those. So you just sit there and do your thing. You're going to need a lot more reds, because I think you're going to be irritated about them shortly. We should also probably be recycling batteries. Yeah, that's fine. Because batteries would be another source of getting us plates and copper, and we're getting it out of scrap, and we don't want to be using normie batteries for anything. Well, maybe we do, actually. There may actually be some things that we want to use normal batteries for, now that I think about it. Send it. You guys get out of here. Get turned into better modules. And then you can now start going full tilt. No, wait, you don't need to filter. You don't need to enable, disable at all. No, you do. When copper cable less than 200 times 40. But I'm gonna manually feed you. Oh, yeah. Now, hook up the machine instead. Whatever. We're going to run it like that. We're going to get our plates on the go. And then we're going to be thriving. I'm also going to take some of this refined concrete and start paving the area where I plan on putting my new accumulators. Which is going to be right out here. We can just make more of it once we fix our power grid up. Beautiful. You are making quality stone. That's good. You are endeavoring to make quality copper. You've done so. I will assist you with this. Oh, you found some. Well, well, well. 3 quality batteries. Do I have any more copper wire? Negative, positive. Chew on that for a bit. Come on, just two more copper plates. I don't feel like I'm asking for a lot. Give him a second recycler. You're doing fine over there. You're gonna go here. You're gonna get 4... Well, grab the 2 nice QM2s and then grab 2 normal QM2s. And then why don't you give this thing, just for funsies, just for like a laugh, just for a giggle, why don't you give it low density structures? Because when those hit, you get a ton of copper out of them. And you can just make more from reprocessing scrap. I think I might have been getting way too cute with thinking about scrap reprocessing on Fulgoro, when it's really just, if a mine makes it, then have a way to destroy it. And save the rest for later. Are you done? You are. But the problem is you have a little added productivity in there. That's fine. So I don't want you to have these quality modules in here anymore. I need those for my recyclers. Like you specifically. And you can go back to circuits, which means that you will be requesting copper cable. And then you should be enable all the time. You always run. Because how many crates we're making is determined by these things. And then we're just waiting on that rare hit. We got one more. I just need one more hit on a rare copper plate. Is such a thing even possible? One of these days it should be. But it remains to be seen. You don't even need to be circuit controlled. Honestly, if I need to build this entire factory exclusively to produce rare accumulators, I will, man. I will. Like, watch this. I'm not even circuit controlling you. You just run all the time. Your entire purpose in life is to make rare iron plate so I can make more accumulators. That's it. And then I probably also want an assembler, like here. Can you make copper cable in an EM plant, or is that a foundry only thing? You can make it in an EM plant. Well, well, well. I think it's time we think about making a second EM plant. Steel plate processing unit, holmium plate, refined concrete. You're enabled again? Because I don't have any immediate plans for regular concrete. Please. Please, I'm so desperate. Please. Because if we're going to be milling copper wire into copper plate, we then need a way to mill copper plate. And the copper plate mill is going to be to make copper wire in an EM plant that has quality modules so that we can reprocess the copper wire back into copper plate so we can roll for productivity. That's going to be the way that we extract quality copper. So there's going to be a second EM plant that lives like right here. And as soon as this electronic circuit is done crafting, I'm going to prepare you to make 2 EM plants. So you're going to want 100 steel. You have 100 steel on you. You're going to want 100 processing unit. You have that. You're going to want 300 holmium plate. You have that. And then you're going to want 100 refined concrete. You're working on that. You're not quite there yet, but you're working on it. Give me that. Oh, yeah, there you go. Alright, so you now, EM plant. Here's your steel. Here's your processing unit. Do you want to gamble on quality for this thing? Couldn't hurt. $50 refined concrete. 40? You're so close. Oh, you finished one. Oh. So precious and so rare. Rare accumulator. Yes. Go forth and hold 3 times more electricity than your brethren. And you're making a second one? Oh, wait, can't you make these in EM plants too? I think I might have just thrown away a rare accumulator. Oh, yeah. Oh. Alright, you're getting torn down. Yeah, we need more EM plants at this point. Go ahead, make it. Dude, EM plants so good. You make lightning rods in an EM plant? Yep. It's alright. Okay, okay, alright. Okay. Dude, we're scaling now. Well, not like immediately, but we're scaling soon. You live here. You are going to make copper cable. I need a requester and a passive provider. I need inserters. I need quality module 2s. You, like, don't really matter as much as I thought you did. And I would rather gamble on quality in an EM plant. So you only turn on when copper plate is greater than, conveniently, 1,000. Let's walk through that and make sure it makes sense. You mine scrap. Scrap turns into copper wire. Copper wire gets recycled when there's too much of it into copper plate. When there's too much copper plate, it gets turned into copper wire. But if there's too much copper wire, it gets turned into copper plate. I think that works. I think that's correct. So you summon copper plate. Take all of the normal copper plate out of these bins. Throw all of it in here. And have this thing get to work. Why are you at minus? Why are you at minus? Because logistics networks don't look inside requester chests. Of course. But they look inside passive providers, right? Yep. Okay. Off you go. Off you go, then. And then the other thing you need, actually, now that I look at you, this isn't right. You actually need to do this. Here, here, and here. You are enabled when normal copper cable is greater than 200 times 40. You are enabled when uncommon copper cable is greater than 200 times 40. You are enabled when rare copper cable is greater than 200 times 40. And then behind you, I want 3 storage chests. Where you're going to hold copper cable, you're going to hold uncommon copper cable, and you're going to hold a rare copper cable. And that's going to be your storage long-term for copper cable. And then it's going to pull out of this passive provider. Then you need a 30 EM plant. You need the EM plant that is going to make accumulators. And then you need a 4th EM plant. And that EM plant is going to be the one that's in charge of lightning rods. And then you have a lot more flexibility to just start scaling this island up as much as you want. Right, off you go. So to make sure I'm hitting critical mass of rare copper plates in the meantime, I'm going to do a little bit of auto-feeding. Not quality. You see how it is. You're going to make accumulator. No, wrong. You're going to make rare accumulator, which takes rare iron plate and rare battery. So requester chest, storage chest. You don't need a quality module in you, because we can't produce anything better than rare right now anyway. So that's how you work. Your problem is you don't have rare iron plate. Do we not have gear? We have 2100 gear. You're attempting to request gear. Logistics network is probably at capacity, if I had to guess. Alright, well, let's go thieve gears. There's a bunch. Go nuts on it. Take this copper cable. Go nuts on it. You're making a rare battery. I love to see that. Here, I'll even handle it for you. Can I make rare batteries in an EM plant? Am I skipping another productivity step? No. Only chem plant and cryo plant. Rare copper cable, guaranteed to turn into rare copper plate. Well, unless it just, like, doesn't roll at all, I guess. That's fair, too. Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. He's not going to be able to do it. I no longer believe in him. And then the next thing that you can start thinking about, because you should have all of the components for this. Oh, you needed to not mill that copper cable. You need rare copper cable. True, true. True, that's pretty true. Alright, you go ahead and make that. You're gonna come here. Your job is to make rare lightning collectors. You're gonna go here. You're gonna go here. One in, one out. You can have this rare stone brick that I found. You can also have this rare steel that I found. And then you can also have some of this rare copper cable that I found, but you're gonna need more than that. I recognize. It's okay. I'll be on it. I think the problem is you need to be an active provider. Because I want it actively pulling out of these. Yeah, all you need is a little bit more rare copper cable. We just need you to hit a couple times. And then we're in there. Go ahead and get more of my rare accumulators down. There's more of your rare cable. So rare lightning rod, relative to normal lightning rod, it has longer range, so it collects more lightning strikes, and you need fewer of them. And then it's also 15% more efficient. No, 12% more efficient. So it collects more of the electricity, which doesn't matter now, but will matter as we generate more accumulators. You're continuing to work on plates, and that's fine. You're continuing to work on copper cable, and that's fine. You're dying, and that's fine, but we can fix it. We still don't last long enough, but we're going to continue adding these accumulators. Oh, those still held charge. Interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. We're starting to get there. And then with that leftover stone, you need to be turning that into walls. So that would be an AM3. And then it would be a second AM3. We also have a lot of iron plates piling up. What can you make out of iron plate that you can scrap back into iron plate? What about, like, firearm magazine? Yeah, that would do really well. Anything that you can make in a foundry. Because I want productivity bone. You could also just make chest. Can't make gear in a foundry without molten metal. Can't make pipe in a foundry without molten metal. 1 second crafting time, half second crafting time. I think it's iron chest. I think iron chest is going to be our best way to burn excess iron plate and turn it into quality iron plate. Well, let's get this set up first. So you're going to make normal wool. You are going to make uncommon wool. You're going to need 2 requester, 2 active provider. You're going to need quality modules, which I can't really make right now. Because I need another EM point. What am I short on? Everything. Well, here's your steel. Holmium's easy. Maybe I'm not short on them. Maybe they're actually super easy to make. Oh my god, they're so easy to make. Go nuts on it. And then we grab this lightning rod. Look at the range of this bad boy. Oh my god, you can go everywhere. And then we can tear this down and this down. Because, like, I don't even need them. I can recycle it. You, garbage. They take an eternity to recycle. Alright, noted. And you just need 1 more rare battery, because you're short on plate. Alright, we gotta get rare plate manufacturing up here soon as well. Because that's also not doing a ton of favors for us. You... I probably want a circuit, but I can't exactly tell you why. You're on if we have more than... just like 1,000 brick. And then you're on if we have more than 1,000 uncommon brick. And then I'll need another recycler that controls. I wonder if I can route everything through a single recycler. Why would I ever need to hold on to uncommon wire? You would definitely need to hold on to common wire. No, I do think the most elegant way to do this is to make sure that we're only scrapping things when we're over some fixed amount of them. You have a rare plate that you found. Guess what? That belongs to batteries now. Guess what? That belongs to accumulators now. Oh, and that was my freebie too. Here and here. Good. So I need another recycler. I need to go pilfer some concrete. Give me that. You do not need to handcraft gears. You should have more gears than you know what to do with. There you go. Move you up to about here. This is going to be... What was this going to be? Also, why do you have all of these steel chests on you? You don't need any of those. What's your problem? Oh, because you don't have quality mods in you. That's why. Because you don't have quality mods. I understand. Which is why I need another EM plant that's making quality mods. Yeah. So where's my rare copper wire going? Into storage. But you should attempt to pull it over here, I think. If I go like that. Yeah? Yeah, probably. Anyway, here's 3 more EM plants. Why don't you come up here? You're going to make QM1s. Why don't you come over here? You're going to make QM2s. I'm going to skip the quality on you for now because I don't want to handle, like, that logistical nightmare. So you're just going to have some requesters that sit here. Are you making green circuits right now? No. You might also want to be making green circuits at some point. Here and here. Circuit these so they don't eat your entire base. You turn on if you have less than 10 of these. You turn on if you have less than 10 of these. So ignore quality on your quality modules right now. You can get to that. Deal with that problem later. Take a couple rare stone brick. Boink. Still don't have rare copper cable. Because you don't even have copper. Really? You burnt through all your copper? You need more scrap recyclers. How about that? Give you an active provider, because I don't want you to hold on to any of this junk. Give you some blue belts. This place is such a rat's nest, man. We're gonna have to move off of this island soon, and we'll move over like here, and we'll actually do something that looks organized. Also, speaking of, let's prepare this island for my arrival. Good. We'll come up with an organized Fulgora base when we move. But I'm not ready for organized Fulgora base yet. Yeah, you need green circuits. You need another EM plant that's making circuits, but that's going to drain your copper plate, which means you're not going to be able to make Accumulators. The only solution that you have to your problem is more scrap. You just need to be processing more scrap. So go and thieve all of the concrete out of your refined concrete maker. Yeah, you're just not producing nearly enough random scrap right now. What was this supposed to? Who knows? It's coming with me. You come down here. You come down here. Go to town. The power grid slowly looks like it's improving. Oh. Don't mind if I do. It's not improving fast enough for my liking. But it is improving. And this base kind of works. It works really slowly, and it's very cumbersome. I don't know how bricks got into you. These requester chests don't request anything. Maybe that's why you ran out of quality copper. You're supposed to request copper cable. You're supposed to request uncommon copper cable, and you're supposed to request rare copper cable. I bet that's why nothing works around here. It's like we're not over where we want to be on copper cable. In fact, we're way behind on where we want to be on copper cable, but we're grabbing some of it, and this plant is making it slowly. I don't know. It kind of works, man. I think you might also want more logistics runs. Are you still making electric engine units? Yeah. Oh, that's a great dump for batteries and steel plates, but you don't have electronic circuits. Guess what? Now you do. Alright, knock yourself out. Just do that forever. I don't think I need to tell you when to stop. Over here, need a bit of steel. And you're not running because you need quality modules in you. Well, have some. Then you can at least do some work, because I need a little bit more of this rare steel. And here, that'll make a bit as well. Beautiful. Have you made rare wire? No, not yet. Yeah, you just gotta keep making as many recyclers as you can. I wonder if it's worth it to put these on a belt instead of auto-querying up all of these logistics requests. Do this in a manufacturer. You have a spare AM3 laying around somewhere that's not doing anything? No, but you can make one. More logistics drones means more throughput at this point. I'm pretty sure we're producing more items than they can reasonably carry, because these aren't getting emptied when they have places to be. And then you, I don't know what you're doing. You also just run all the time. And you run all the time because you should be making iron plates. You have a massive iron plate surplus. So how is logistics network looking? Are we backing up on things? We're backing up on gears, but gears are production controlled. We're backing up on plates. Plates are kind of production controlled because they're going into green circuits. Steel should be getting production controlled. It is. So steel's fine. Copper wire is fine. Holmium does not have production controls on it. So it's possible that this system could back up with Holmium. But I think that's kind of a good problem to have because we're going to be using a lot of Holmium as soon as we start making science. So building up a bit of a Holmium buffer isn't a horrible thing. Do you guys want quality modules before you start working? Let's get these flying robot frames going. You work on that for a bit. I need you to just empty those out into, like, any chest. Any chest will do. And then fill for a bit of extra concrete. And fill for a bit of extra steel. So that we can keep mulching scrap. We now have 2 drills running at the same time. Drilling. We have 6 rare accumulators that are still not quite holding enough charge, but they're doing their best. I guess we could be making, like, efficiency modules if I really cared. But I don't. I'd rather just make more power than make my existing power more efficient. Get this out of here, please. Oh, right, your personal grid's been off forever. There you go. Okay. 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 Sure. And okay. Give me these 5. I will happily turn those into logistics bots. Go find something to do. There is no shortage of tasks in this factory right now. And then more recyclers. You desire gears. You desire concrete. Caught it just at the end of a craft. Very unlucky. Well, actually, given that my Logibots can't keep up, maybe there's concrete in these boxes. I can make 3. You have none rare batteries. Because you have none rare iron or copper plate. Because we just don't have enough copper plate. Rare copper plate, anyway. I guess because the wire is still backing up, but then also getting turned into circuits. Let's see if I can make some myself. Actually, it would all mostly be down here. Yeah, there it is. Let's see if I can encourage this system to make the things that I want it to make a little bit faster, rather than waiting for this giant copper wire buffer to establish itself. Steel. Steel's down here. And give me 3 of these. Okay. we're producing more things. We're consuming a pretty decent chunk of this belt. And I think something that I can do to improve that just a little bit. Can I have gears, please? Thank you. Thank you. So I can actually do like a bit of a weird balancer here. Like that. So I'm actually mining onto both sides, and then all 4 of these drills will run. And then we'll make sure that we get scrap all the way down to the end of this belt. Make another 9 robots. Have some steel. They're immediately consumed by the logistics network? Yeah, the logistics network was overwhelmed. You're still waiting on batteries. Copper cable is the big shortage right now. You could start scrapping batteries. That's true. Let's see how many batteries you have in here. You do have like 1,500 of them. There, that's 800 of them. Oh, here's the rest. Yeah. There we go. Also, a shitload of concrete. Duly noted for later. Here, do you want to mill all of those? See if you can get anything useful out of that. Take all these copper plates. See if you can get anything useful out. Oh, because you're set to... Yeah, alright. I can't hide copper plates like that. I get it. I get it. I just gotta wait for that to hit over 1k naturally. In which case, removing 144 would probably help. And don't put it in a requester chest, because then the network doesn't see it. There you go. Still have 30 more of these to make. Love that. Off you go. Probably want a couple more EM plants at this point. It's a decent dump for the enormous amount of homium plates that we're generating. It's also a decent dump. Well, we don't have as many as I thought we did. Give me these. I also need to finish setting up you. Oh, right. Construction drones trying to build them. I was like, where are my requester chests going? Because I still have the foundry set up. You request normal steel chest. So our steel quality grinder mostly works. You, I need to enable so that you have a chance to promote to rare. But aside from that, you mostly work. Still held up on rare copper. But we're slowly going to accrue that over time. I would really like to get this next EM plant up so that I can start making quality modules again. So that I can start expanding the amount of things that we're gambling for quality on. So let's do that. That takes you out of the logistics network, so maybe don't put them there. Put them, like, here. Request, request. Quality 1, quality 2. Insert, insert. Insert. And then store. And these you definitely want to circuit. Just like last time. But this time we'd have a pipeline of green circuits that are actually going to allow them to run. There you go. Off you go. Because then I can turn these on, I can start producing higher quality brick. I can also start salvaging LDS, because LDS is going to be another great source of rare copper for us. We're not doing anything else with the LDS that comes out of the scrap mines right now. Take some of these. Take some of these. You're slowly working on batteries. You slowly work on copper cable. You should not have normal brick. Your logistic filter is quality lightning rods. So I'll be taking that from you. Did you run out of space in here? Is that what happened? No, I think you tried to move it into the request. Oh, because these are active providers. They were looking for anywhere else they could go. Fair enough. Yeah, and you're still trying to put them in. And now you're trying to put them in here. These are supposed to be rare batteries only. I appreciate your vigilance to the task, but... You need more copper cable, more stone brick. I don't need those LDS. Let's see if you can do anything with them. Oh, and these. This is supposed to be QM2s only. Sorry for the confusion. Is that all the storage chests that I missed? I think so. Why are you a normal battery? Get out of there. Alright, so, does this factory work? Yeah, but, like, really badly. Like, embarrassingly badly. There are so many things about this factory that I do not like. But, technically, it produces the things that it's supposed to produce. So, it's not like it's a complete failure. It's just mostly a failure. That's huge, though. Because with that, I can start gambling on uncommon walls. You don't have any idea what half of what is on screen? Join the club. I also have trouble explaining what this factory does. But it sure tries. It sure tries its best. I'm getting to the point where I actually don't understand how it produces half the things it produces. Which is always kind of interesting when you're when you're trying to build something that works. So as the factory blacks out Night Fury, let me give you the tour. We're on Fulgora. Fulgora is the trash planet. You will notice on this map, all we have are islands. We are in the middle of a sea of oil sand. Ew, very gross. Yuck. There is no natural water anywhere on the surface. This makes things like power generation very difficult, because you can't boil water into steam, and you also can't use water to cool down a nuclear reactor. You could use solar, but Fulgora is also very far away from the sun, and solar power is only 20% effective. Which means that the best way to get power on Fulgora is using these lightning rods. Every night, Fulgora is very stormy. If we go up to the ship, you can see, wow, big lightning storm. Very stormy planet. So lightning strikes my lightning rods. That adds power into my electrical grid off of these accumulators. And these accumulators are what runs the factory during the day. The stored power that I get from lightning strikes. My factory has a blackout every night because I don't have enough accumulators, but I'm building rare accumulators exclusively because I'm a masochist, and we'll get to that later. The only thing that you can mine on Fulgora is scrap. You have scrap deposits on all of these islands, and the smaller the island is, the more scrap you have. So this island is 634, this one over here, 271, 49, 76, 278, 191, pretty bad. This tiny island, 23 million. This tiny island, 24 million. So you're incentivized to run very small trains out to these islands to pick scrap up, and then run it back into your base. What do you do with scrap, you might ask? Here's the recipe for scrap. One scrap has a 20% chance of making a gear wheel, a 7% chance of making solid fuel, a 6% chance of making concrete, a 5% chance of making ice, and so on and so forth. You can read the rest. You recycle scrap in these recyclers. So these sit here and ingest scrap, and then they dump all of their garbage products out into my logistics network. The problem with doing this in a completely uncontrolled way is that eventually something is going to pile up. So you need a way to destroy items. The other neat thing that you can do with recyclers is they inverse craft. So I have this little contraption down here that turns steel chests into steel plates. And then it takes the steel plates and it makes the steel plates into steel chests. The modules that I have are quality modules. They allow a machine to make higher quality products. They slow it down, but in exchange, your quality improves. And I have them in almost all of this stuff. I do need to add a couple over here to my uncommon. Oh, you actually need to be an AM2. I need to add a couple to my my AM3 over here that will eventually be an AM3. Where would I find red chests in this? Or red circuits in this? Is good enough. So, the idea is... Why do I not have circuit control on for you? I don't think I need circuit control on for you. I think you're just always on. The idea is this. When I have more than 2,000 steel in the logistics network, this factory turns on. It begins producing normal steel plate into normal steel chest. It has an 8% chance to produce an uncommon steel chest as a byproduct. All of those steel chests then go into this box, and they get sorted by the logistics network. If it makes a normal steel chest, it goes into this requester. It goes into this requester. If it makes an uncommon steel chest, it goes into this requester. The recycler then turns those chests back into steel. But the recycler also has a 6% chance to increase the quality of the item that you throw into it, which I actually can get higher because these are QM1s. Now it has an 8% chance to turn the steel chests into 75% less steel, but it might upgrade the steel. If it upgrades the steel into uncommon steel, it gets dragged into this requester chest, which is controlled by this circuit which is making uncommon steel chests. And it has the same logic that applies. If there is if there's more than 2,000 uncommon steel in the network, it turns on, otherwise it just sits there and doesn't do anything. It spits out into here, an uncommon chest, and then if either of these make a rare steel chest, wow, so fancy, I just hold on to it. But I also could just be recycling them into rare steel. What does rare quality steel mean, you might ask? Well, you can craft rare items in factories. The only way to get quality isn't just through gambling. You can also just craft them. So if I wanted to make a normal quality inserter, I need normal quality iron, normal quality electronic circuit, and normal quality gear wheel. If I want to make a legendary inserter, I need legendary iron plate, legendary iron gear wheel, and legendary electronic circuit. So the rare steel that I'm making, and we're only making rare steel because I haven't done the research for more qualities yet, the rare steel goes into this requester chest along with rare copper cable and rare stone brick to make rare lightning rod. And the difference between rare lightning rod and normal lightning rod is the blue diamonds on the right side. So this lightning rod has range 15 plus 10 with 20% efficiency. That's a normal lightning rod. This lightning rod has range 24 plus 10 and 32% efficiency. So its protective bubble reaches out further than normal lightning rods, and it's better at harnessing the energy that a lightning strike provides. We are also using rare iron plates and rare copper plates to make rare batteries, and then we're using rare batteries and rare iron plates to make rare accumulators. Rare accumulators hold 3 times the charge that a normal accumulator does. And since the entire gimmick of Fulgora is that you're restricted to building on these tiny, tiny islands, anything that gives you more for the same surface area is valuable. How many items in the game have different quality stats? All of them except for... Well, no, actually I think it's literally all of them. But some items don't have any quality effects. So you can make quality belts. There's nothing stopping you from making Legendary Transport Belt, but Legendary Transport Belt doesn't do anything. Most other items in the game will do something. Legendary Steel Chests are bigger. Storage tanks are the same for some reason. Inserters swing faster. Power poles have a longer wire reach and also supply area. Trains, I believe, move faster. No, trains don't do anything. Bots have a larger internal battery, and they have a longer flying reach as a result. Assemblers build faster. Modules have a greater effect. Yeah, Legendary Nuclear Reactor increases the amount of megawatts that it consumes, but then also increases the output. I wonder if I can look at the stats in the Factoripedia. No, but I think maybe I can put one down from map view. I think that's a legendary nuclear reactor, and then here, normal nuclear reactor. So normal nuclear reactor, constant consumption, 40 megawatts. Legendary nuclear reactor, constant consumption, 100 megawatts. A legendary nuclear reactor will produce over twice as much energy as a normal nuclear reactor does. But it also screws with all the ratios. If you have a nuclear reactor that's producing 100 megawatts, you're going to need twice as many heat exchangers, unless your heat exchangers are also legendary. Because if your heat exchangers are legendary, go get a normal one for comparison. Normal heat exchanger, please. Normal heat exchanger consumes 10 megawatts. Legendary heat exchanger consumes 25 megawatts. So they're more efficient at consuming the extra heat that a legendary nuclear reactor provides. Are there in-game calculators for things? There is Factorio Lab, and Factorio Lab is updated to work with everything. If you do not have a link to Factorio Lab, not you specifically Night Fury, but like anybody in general. Factorio Labs got all the calculators for all the new stuff. It has Legendary incorporated, it does all of it. So that's what we're up to on Fulgora. Now, do I need to, like, interface with any of this? No, I don't. Quality is entirely optional. But the other neat thing that you can do with... I need rare brick. Do you guys think you could get to work on rare brick, maybe? Also, where are you taking wall? I'm deeply concerned that you just stole a bunch of wall. I'm very concerned by that. I guess I'll just have you start milling it. You don't actually have to interface with quality at all. It is an entirely optional mechanic. If you want to just disregard quality completely, you can, and that is no problem. The reason that I'm interfacing with quality is because the other thing that you can do with recyclers is you can have them void items. So if you have two recyclers that are pointed towards each other, which I think I can make one more. I should be able to make one. Give me that concrete. And then give me these gears. If I take two recyclers and I run them like this, so that they're pointing into each other, and I drop a stack of stone in there, that stone will vanish. It will disappear. It is completely erased from existence. This machine has a 25% chance to return one stone anytime it recycles stone, and then the other 75% of the time, it returns nothing. So the way that most people deal with that on Fulgora is they just void excess items that they don't want. You hook everything up to a logistics grid. You say, if you ever have more than this amount of items in the network, then insert it into two recyclers, recycling back and forth forever. And then you never have to worry about it ever again. I have decided I'm not going to do that. And I'm just not going to void any items on Fulgora. And I'm going to upcycle them on quality instead. Because I think it'll be more interesting. And so far it sucks, and I cannot recommend it at all, but that's fun in its own way, I think. Maybe. I'm not sure yet. I did just void items on Fulgora, but only as an example, so they don't count. That's the cool thing about streaming. You can make up the rules as you go. And I've decided that that doesn't count. It was only one stack of stone. It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. And you can see all of my drones floating above these boxes because I'm not doing a great job of managing overflows right now. But we're going to set this thing up. This is going to be our wall recycler. It is going to be our way of getting better stone brick. And then any normal stone brick is just going to get thrown back into this network, except for the rare stone, which I'm going to pull out and I'm going to put into my lightning generator. Because I would like to build more lightning generators. And in fact, I'm going to get 2 free out of this one. Which is lovely news. I probably wouldn't run out of power if I used belts instead of bots like a real engineer. Look, I know you haven't played Space Age yet, but you try doing a belt-only run on Fulgora and let me know how it goes. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm saying that it is, like, on the same level of masochism as what I'm currently doing. Actually, if you watch Dosh, you've probably seen him work on it already. Because that's what his latest video is on. Is him doing, he started on Fulgora, and he's doing botless Fulgora. And it's a very cool base, but it's not something I have any interest in building. That's a bridge too far. I'll save that one for another stream. I could really use more rare batteries, if you guys are into that kind of thing at all. Your problem is you're actually backed up. Okay, that's a problem. I'm backed up on iron, which means that I need to build my firearms factory here. Actually, that would be funny. Where the hell is pistol? Can I not make a pistol anymore? I thought you used to be able to make pistols. Light armor is kind of sick too, actually. We could turn all of our iron plate into light armor. Start getting like rare light armor. And then just recycle it again. I actually think that's a great idea. That's 40 iron plates for 3 seconds. That's a really good deal. So I'm going to need a recycler for this. I guess I'll just keep expanding up this way. You're going to need a recycler, requester chest, active provider, because you want to find somewhere else to put it. This doesn't look like Factorio. Where's the accumulator spam? It's over here. Here's all my rare accumulators that I'm building. A lot has happened since the last time you were here, Vision. I wouldn't expect you to understand. But I've decided that Fulgora without voiding items is an uninteresting premise. And so I'm recycling everything into quality instead of just voiding items. And then as soon as I got rare accumulators automated, I was like, well, I guess I never need to build a regular accumulator ever again. And that's why we're like 3 hours in. And I haven't even moved off my starter island yet, Minecraft style. So you request light armor. 1? No, you request like 10 light armor. Then I need a lot of assembling machines. What do I do with stacks of light armor? Recycle them into quality iron plates. And then what do I do with the iron plates? I obviously make them into light armor. Well, the problem is that my light armor is backed up right now. My iron plates is backed up right now. This is all of my iron plates. I need to empty this box because it means that my gears aren't running, and because my gears aren't running, it means I'm not like consuming gears, and I'm not making rare plates because I'm not making rare plates. I can't make rare batteries because I'm not making rare batteries. I can't make rare accumulators. It's a problem. I need a way to drain iron out of my logistics system. And the best way that I can think of to drain iron out of my logistics system is to find something to make that consumes a ton of iron. Light armor. Make it. Put quality modules in all of the factories that are making it. And then recycle it again. Because it lets me roll twice on the recycling calculation. Once when I recycle it, and then once again when I make it. So it's kind of like I'm doubling up on my chances to turn a normal iron plate into a rare iron plate. Yeah, after I have rare light armor, I just recycle it. I turn the rare light armor into rare iron plates. And then the whole thing starts over again. So actually, these are going to line up here. You're going to request light armor. Normal. Is there a chance to downgrade? There is if you use other modules. So, speed module, plus 30%. Quality, minus 1.5. That will downgrade you. But as long as you're not using modules that aren't quality modules, you cannot downgrade. That doesn't count as voiding? No, not in my mind. I mean, technically, I guess you could have a game where instead of ever destroying any item in a recycler ever, you like ship it off planet. But that seems like a complete nightmare. I actually don't even know. It would consume an ungodly amount of rocket parts. But now I am kind of thinking about it. Because it would consume like a lot of rocket parts. But you just have like a priority splitter on Nauvis that feeds all the iron into that. It's possible. You are enabled when iron plate is greater than 100 times 40. You request iron. Yeah, I guess I say when I'm not doing any item voiding, I'm not doing I'm not doing recyclers feeding into each other. That's the voiding that I'm skipping. As long as it's making a valid product, and it's not just re-rolling the quality onto the same thing but worse. Like, I'm not gonna run iron plate through a recycler to get rare iron plate. I'm not gonna do that level of voiding, because that's just deleting 75% of the items. But I will 100% delete 75% of my light armor that I'm making in order to have a chance to get rare iron plates out of that. Does that make sense? Is that interesting at all? I find it interesting. And if it's not actually interesting, I'll find out about it when these VODs start going up. But I think it's kind of interesting. And I might put a little sauce on the thumbnails to convince other people that it's interesting as well. Or not on the thumbnails. I might put a little bit of sauce on the titles. No, not heavy armor. Although that is interesting. So this should produce rare iron plates like nobody's business. Which is good. Because we're not really having any problems making rare copper plates. And because we're using EM plans for doubling up on all of it. Oh yeah. Oh, this is gonna work great. I could not be more pleased with this. This is going to empty out this system, which means it will be reprocessing gears again. Which means it will be draining gears out of the logistics network. Like, they're all piled up over... Well, actually, hold on. There's other problems. Solid fuel is really backed up. There's not a ton that I can do with... Oh, you know what I can do? Oh my god, I'm a genius. You're not going to believe me. But that's okay. I don't need you to believe me. I only need you to behold the outcome of my labor. You consume 60 steam per second. You make 60 steam per second. It's only at 165, but steam turbines don't actually care about minimum temperature. They only care about maximum temperature. So check this out. Power issues? Couldn't be me. Without water? No, no, no. I have water. Look what's backed up in these chests. I have more ice than I know what to do with. So I'm going to have a chemical plant. The chemical plant is going to melt water. And then it's going to feed it into this boiler. Which is also going to be fed by a requester chest that's summoning solid fuel. And then it's going to dump that into a turbine, and that's going to be backup power. Because these will only run when the accumulators are dry. Ice melting. How much water do you use? 6 per second, and you're going to make 20? So I can have 3 boilers. And then I'm going to have 6 steam turbines. Yeah, dude. Frick yeah. This is... Save your Logibot some trouble. Be kind to your poor bots. I'm even going to use burner inserters. we're going old school now beast mode. So belt is going to go there. You'll come down to here. You're gonna come down to here as well, and you're gonna come down to here. And then you guys are fine. You connected to something. Killing 2 environmentalists with 1 factory. Yeah, but like, there's no one here to complain. It's that classic parable. If you pollute a forest and an environmentalist isn't around to be harmed by it, does it make a sound? I don't know. You know what I'm going for. Intermediate product. Request solid fuel. You also request solid fuel. Burner inserter is going to go to work. Where's my second boiler? Here it is. Boiler 2, boiler 3. Burner inserter 2, burner inserter 3. Keep running that belt down. I need a requester chest for water for you. Or for ice. And let's see, what else am I using ice in? I do think this needs to be circuit controlled. Just in case. Because the other thing that ice does is handles cracking. And I don't want cracking to complain. So run your green line up here, over to here, and then into here. No, I'm not doing inserter control anymore, I'm doing factory control. You are enabled when ice is greater than 100. And then I'll give you a storage chest as well. And this can hold ice. Then we hook you up here. And I think I need like a shitload more copper to make these. Yeah. If I'm bot-based, do I do circuits instead of just connecting to the logistics network directly? It is. It's this one roboport that is reading contents of the logistics network, and it's passing it into the green line, and then I'm passing the green line all over the base. So it's just reading off of what exists in the network. That's why it's reading, there's 1800 ice. It's not reading off of this chest, it's reading off of what exists in the entire network. Unless there's a better way to do it. There could be a better way to do it that I'm not thinking of. Via the logistics checkmark. Wait, what? I can do it without running a wire? How long has that option been there? How long has this been here? Been around for a long time? Oh, motherfucker. Now I gotta change all this shit. I had no idea that that button existed. This is primarily why I wasn't using it. That's crazy. Okay, this is really good. I love this. Open connected network. Wow. Oh my god. Oh, I can rename the network. Oh. Holy shit. I'm gonna have to go back and change everything on Now man. Look at this rat's nest that I have in the bot mall, man. It's hideous. Everything just reading off of everything. Oh my god. I have to have full logistics coverage to do it? That's fine. I have full logistics coverage on all this stuff anyway, because it's all being governed by provider chests and requester chests. You're a little confused? Look, nobody left a comment about it either. So, I think it might just be something that, like, nobody notices. Alright, is my ratio on these really bad? Yes. I could be running 2 of these off of each boiler. Actually, so I will. I do not need to handcraft gears. Don't ever insult me like this again. I have more gears than I know what to do with. I have more copper plates than I know what to do with, probably. Where would I have put them? No, really, where do copper plates go? Oh, in here. Yeah, that probably makes sense. Don't worry about this. I'll fix that in a second. So I recognize that's a problem. I'm not ready to deal with it yet. This is gonna to fix our power grid. Our power grid is finally gonna be not busted, and I'm going to be so thrilled by that. And then it's also gonna consume all this random detritus that we have building up in the logistics network as well. Logi filters. Solid fuel. Fought against personal bots for so long. I just thought I hated efficiency. Hey, that. Like, it's not not that. It's definitely, that's an element of it. You are normie bricks. You are green bricks. That should pull out of these. And then I need to give you guys stone, because stone is piling up everywhere. Running wires long distances is easier than chaining logi network long distances? Yes. There's definitely still times to use the wire, but the way that I have been using the wire lately is almost exclusively related to logistics networks. So I will be saving myself a lot of time on it. Alright, we can get rid of this. Move stone into here. I can get rid of this. I can move stone into here. I can move stone into here. What are you piled? I have more stone. I can move stone into here. So what crises do we have in the logistics network? We have way more ice than we're currently using. That one is definitely piled up. Let's move it into its storage chest. I actually don't think this is going to burn through ice fast enough. We're going to have to find an extra outlet for solid fuel and for ice. Unless, God, the other thing we could do, if Fulgora with no accumulators, we just run everything off of these steam turbines because we make so much solid fuel. I don't even know how that would begin to work. Do I know about L for the logistics shortcut? I do now. But yeah, it's stone. And it's probably going to be stone for a while. No accumulators is just pain. It depends on what you're doing with your solid fuel, man. If you're launching like 20 rockets a minute off of Fulgora, you're probably going to need all that solid fuel for, you know, endeavors. But if you're not doing anything with your solid fuel and you're not doing anything with your ice, why not? Because it actually just makes a ton of power. Replace all of these guys with rare ones. I want as much reach outside of this island as possible, so that I can collect as many lightning strikes as possible. And then, since we're making rare accumulators, I guess I'll go put them down. But aren't accumulators also used in, like, EM science? I think they are. So it's not, like, totally wasted effort. I should maybe make an EM science book. I should maybe move the factory to, like, a permanent island. I should maybe do a lot of things. What's your problem? Not enough batteries. Not enough copper plate. You don't have enough copper plate? I don't know why. I can't tell you why. I'm unsure. You do have 1,600 batteries. So you might just want to set up one of these recyclers to mill batteries. If they get too high. Is there anything you could turn batteries into? Like normie... Take normie battery. Can I generate anything useful out of normie battery? I could make personal battery. That uses up 5. Okay, so what I could do, I could use normie battery, normie iron plate to make accumulators, and that could just be the whole quality cycle. Because then when I recycle them, I have a chance to get the higher quality batteries, which I already want to use in accumulators anyway. I think I need to do that. But in order to do that, I need to expand my logistics network. Where are my red circuits at? There you are. I need to pull you guys up here so I can build more EM plants. Yeah, these barely use anything. I'm gonna have to figure out a longer-term plan for solid fuel. I do think that technically, if I were to make solid fuel into rocket fuel, it makes it less energy efficient. But I think that's only true until you start getting rocket productivity, or rocket fuel productivity. So it's not going to last forever. You need a request order. Connect you to logistics network. Connect. Enable when... No, you need a decider combinator for this one. Because you need it to be batteries or iron plates. And this needs to be connected to a circuit network. Okay, so I need to go like this. Here's a case where I do still need the circuit network. Iron plate greater than 100 times 40, or battery greater than 200 times 40. We'll have a set of storage chests for you to keep an eye on those. Iron plate here. Battery here. Then you will pass a red signal into this plant. And then... Oh, right, your output condition. Output is green check mark. So if you get green check mark, then you're allowed to operate. But if you don't get green check mark, then you don't run. And then you talk to this requester chest here. Yeah, Fulgora music is neat. I don't know if you caught Volcanus music. Volcanus music is also neat. I'm pretty sure there's a Space Age OST playlist on YouTube. It's like all of the planets have really good and interesting music. So then you output active provider. And that's just going to be normal EM plants. You'll have a... Oh, you need quality modules as well. There you go. Because you might generate better accumulators. I need another EM plant. You are going to make rare. And you're going to run... No, you're going to need another decider combinator. So 2 blue, decider, and then 1 requester and 1 active provider. You're out of the logistics grid. Oh yeah, I never actually put down this the second robot port. So you tile here. Is that right? Yeah. So decider combinator here. Green connection. Red connection. Copy this because the only difference is going to be quality. And then you're enabled when green check is equal to 1. You are also going to get quality mod 2s. And then if you produce rare accumulators, that's great. I have a storage chest for rare accumulators. If you produce any other kind of accumulator, you get thrown in the trash. Active provider, 2 requesters. Here and here. You are going to request normal accumulators. You are going to request uncommon accumulators. You are going to connect to the logistics network. You are going to enable if accumulator is greater than 200. Because I don't think I'm going to make... Well, maybe I will make quality science. I don't know. What do I need to make EM science? It is like a lot of fluid ingredients. What's supercapacitors? Battery. I'm making quality batteries already. Electronic circuit, I can make quality. Holmium plate. I don't have a great way of making quality holmium plate right now. Yeah, I'm just going to stick to normal EM science packs. We can come back and do that later. So we're going to be using normal EM science packs. I want to make sure that this recycler is not going to eat all of my accumulators. You get quality. And then I think that should be that. This is going to hold overflow iron. This holds overflow battery. When either of those get too high, this thing will just spin up. You don't need to talk to logistics network. And then it'll generate rare accumulator, which we're still short on batteries for because we're still short on copper plate. But iron has an upper limit. I don't know that stone has an upper limit right now. Did I threshold stone on these? I did threshold stone on these, but I'm thresholding it to 1k. So we're making way more stone than we need. We're making way more holmium than we need. And we need something to do with concrete. Like, concrete we can just pave the world in, I guess. Give me a storage chest, please. Logistics filters, concrete. And then just give me this whole box. Give me this whole box. Storage chest. You hold stick. You hold concrete. You hold concrete. You also need to handle LDS. I probably want to make quality LDS, because if I'm going to be making quality everything else, it would be really easy to make... Well, let's actually, what does LDS go into? I thought LDS was used for a bunch of personal equipment grid stuff, but maybe I'm wrong. It's used for portable fission reactor. Can't do that. Power armor Mark II. Probably want to do that. The only thing that's annoying about making LDS is that I can't... Well, and also personal battery Mark II. I would really not mind personal battery Mark II. But I can't make LDS in a foundry on Fulgoro. Also, I think this was way too ambitious. No, you should leave it, because you might want to make blue belts at some point. So if we were going to make LDS, we would have to make it in normal assembling points. Which isn't the end of the world, but it's not ideal. You're short on copper cable. Because we need to be milling LDS. Alright, give me a recycler. You hear LDS and only think Latter-day Saints. You haven't been playing Factorio enough, and it shows. You gotta get back on it. I'm telling you, new expansion's really good. Obviously, I'm on like episode 30 of doing this. How many hours does this say you have? 73 hours? Oh, God. Oh, no. We're going to be playing a lot of Factorio. Nothing in the game refers to it as LDS. It's literally called low-density structure. I'm glad that you've got like a syllables trust fund where you can just withdraw infinite syllables from the bank anytime you want. But like, not the rest of us, man. I mean, you haven't been watching Factorio streams. No, because I'm different from other streamers. I actually don't care if you're watching. If you would have fun playing Factorio, you should be playing Factorio instead of watching me. Now, if you like watching Factorio, fine. Obviously, that's your prerogative, but I wouldn't want you to like watch me play Factorio instead of playing Factorio. Can I make recyclers in an EM plant? No. Okay, fair enough. Well, I still think it's time to automate recyclers because that will be a good sink for concrete. And steel and iron gear wheels. We appear to be doing great on iron plate. We just need to get our... Ooh. I'll happily take two. We just need to get our copper plate production up as well. And I think we're getting close to being able to move to this island. I just want a couple of you, a couple lightning rods to be willing to make that jump. Shouldn't even be chatting, let alone playing Factorio. That's fair. That's true. I should also probably be wrapping up here pretty soon because I consult tomorrow morning at like 8. And I can never go immediately from stream to bed. But on the other hand, this factory needs me right now. It doesn't do anything. Man, it doesn't do anything. I feel like this factory doesn't do anything. You probably want to control this one, but control it around how many recyclers you have. What do they stack to? 20? If you have less than 200, then you're allowed to run. That should take care of our concrete issue. Oh, and then you probably want to, like, put them into something when you're done. Are you into that? Yeah. That's what I thought. Oh my god. The factory actually may be producing things on like a reasonable time frame. It's happening. Everybody stay calm. Oh, you could just move you could just move these things over. Yeah, you don't need to wait on power generation. You can just drag it over here. Yeah. 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 Alright, as soon as you make another rare lightning rod, we're moving to this new island, and we're gonna start a bot mall. We're gonna mine that scrap pile, and we're gonna start to decommission this island. This island has served its purpose. This is like a bootstrap base that does everything badly, and it has enough scrap that it can continue to do everything badly for some time. But we need to actually, like, we need to scale up. Very fewer islands are close enough to drag power. I've been thinking about big electric poles, because I could big electric pole here to here, and I could, like, medium electric pole here to here. I can definitely drag power. I don't know if that's far enough to drag bots. And I don't think I'd want to anyway, because I don't think that my, well, it's kind of there. Are you a rare? You are a rare. If I put one here and I put one here, I may be able to get good enough coverage. Maybe. Uh-oh. Hello? What's your problem? Oh, you're no, because if the accumulators are empty, it's just gonna spin the turbines out. Right? No. Why aren't you guys running full time? You're not getting nearly enough steam produced. You consume 60 per second. You make 60 per second. Oh, your ratios are wrong. It's only one turbine per boiler. Huh, okay. And then if you wanted to add more to this array, you would need a second chemical plant, because you're producing all your water. Yeah, so I can connect this island to this one. I can connect this one to this one. I don't think I can connect this one, but that's fine. Well, maybe I could. We're gonna have to start making rare power poles to see. I think I could maybe get this connection to go, but this one's not happening and this one's not happening, so these are gonna have to be independent islands. It doesn't matter because this island is colossal. We'll have there's no shortage of ground space there. We can do anything we want. Homeo's really stacking up. We gotta start making science soon. All right, that's good for a bootstrap Fulgora base. We have so many things we need to still do on Fulgora though, but we're finally producing the things that I need to produce in order to start thinking about migrating to another island. And that's what we're going to do next time. But it's midnight here, so I got to wrap up because I've got work tomorrow. We will be streaming tomorrow night. We'll be doing Guild Wars, and then we'll be doing a little bit of Factorio after because my Wednesday meeting or my Wednesday schedule is relatively chill. We will not be streaming late on Wednesday because I have a job interview on Thursday, and then we will be streaming late on Friday because I'm not doing anything this weekend. If you want to know when those streams are going to be happening, I have a Discord. You should join it, and you should sign up for the stream alerts ping so that you know when these things are happening. I have a YouTube channel if you're interested in Guild Wars 2 World vs. World content, and I have a VODs channel if you're interested in everything else that I do on this channel. But until then, I hope you have a good rest of your night. I will see you around tomorrow for World vs. World, and until then, take care, and enjoy the rest of your night. Have a good one.